It's time for the man who's never
boring.
The one, the only Nigel Farage, the Reform Party leader and the man who led a revolution in that part of that beautiful country, the United Kingdom. Great man, lovely to see you. Congratulations. This is phenomenal. I mean, up and down the hill. What was it? 667 councillors. How many mayoralties? You won everywhere, mate. Congratulations.
Yeah, huge result. I mean, I have to say, as I was touring the country in the last month and meeting our batches of candidates, and they were saying, we're going to win, Nigel. And I'd get back in the car and talk to my press officer and say, I think they're all a bit deluded. I think they've all got a bit overexcited. Well, they were right. They were right. I grossly underestimated what we did. I mean, we topped the poll by a mile. We won the most seats by a mile. We got another member of parliament elected. And importantly for us, particularly given your previous discussions about Dutton, we've now got two very, very prominent female members. You know, one is a mayor of Greater Lincolnshire. The other is Sarah Pochin, who I'm going to walk up the House of Commons today for her swearing in a couple of hours' time. And we've also got like a mayor who was elected, who's a 37-year-old gold medal winner in the Olympics. So we've got youth, we've got women, and the whole look of the party has changed. Not because of positive discrimination, which I disagree with completely. That's how it's grown. That's how it's evolved. And amazingly, my popularity since last Thursday is up by 5 points. So all I need to do, Paul, is to be photographed with a pint in as many pubs as possible over the next 4 years, and we should be home and dry.
The good thing is you've been practicing it for a few years before you're going to put this strategy into effect, and I think you'll be able to hit as many of them as possible, and there'll be plenty of people willing to buy them for you. Now that you're in a position where, explain to Australians the role of a council in the UK. Is it similar to things like the United States, where it has a greater connection to employing police, or it has a greater role in government? Because obviously there's not state government, there's federal government, and then there's these councils. What does control of a council give you?
Well, they look after social care, adult social care, which with an ageing population is, of course, a very, very big issue. They look after kids with special educational needs. They look after the roads, and let me tell you, our roads are full of potholes absolutely everywhere. They look after the rubbish collection. They oversee policing, law and order. Actually, you know, your county council probably has a greater effect on your daily life than whichever Muppet is sitting in number 10 Downing Street. So they really do matter. And for us, you know, we literally have gone from nothing overnight to establishing a massive base in local government across England. And we're going to go on next year for the Welsh and Scottish Parliament elections, where we're going to do well. And yeah, you know, we've got the big M, momentum. That's what's going with us. And do you know why? Do you know why? Because we're optimistic, we're fun, we have a laugh, and we're unashamedly pro the family, pro communities, and pro country. And we don't believe in woke. All of our new councillors this week are told they've got to do DEI training. Let me just tell you something. None of them are doing it.
Yes. They'll be sent the link. They won't touch the link, and it will not affect them into the future. The happy warrior stuff. I mean, we've talked about this at the national level, but when it's not just the happy warrior in you, the party leader, have you been able to find candidates who are happy warriors? And again, as Australia's Conservatives are sitting and licking their wounds and all the rest of it, let's talk about why you've got to be a happy warrior. Not a fake one, a fair income one who wants to light up a room when they walk into it.
Well, real people laugh and real people cry and real people have emotions. Yeah. And generally, Conservative politicians around the Western world are very often some of the stuffiest, dullest, most boring people that you could ever possibly meet.
Thank you.
And I think it was true, isn't it? You know, yeah. I mean, you sort of turn up to a Conservative Party meeting and there's sort of, you know, just people that you wouldn't really bother to spend too much time with. Our people come from all walks of life. There's loads of passion. But above all, you go to a Reform meeting, it's like a rock concert. People are so full of optimism, of hope, of belief that we can turn this around. And if you think about Trump in America, Trump, yeah, sure, he's hard-hitting, but also he can be very, very funny as well. And I do think that humorous, that human side is absolutely what conservative leaders need.
So then as we talk about, again, the Westminster of things, the fact that you will march a new MP in there after the by-election, seeing where we were in a conversation a year, 2 years ago versus where it is now, what does it say to you that in a system that's first past the post, that's very difficult, all of the reasons we've talked about before, that it's hard to get somebody up, that you're getting them up and you keep getting them up?
When you start to look like a winner, it kind of just grows on itself. As we've now proved that we can win nearly 700 council seats, another MP, all under first past the post. When people start to believe it, then my slogan, vote reform, get reform, if people really believe that, then I tell you something, we can, and I mean this, go on and win the next general election. And that is what I am absolutely committed to doing. I cannot bear to see this country going downhill in the way that it is. Someone has got to stand up, plant that flag. And I am confident that the silent majority of people in our country hate all this woke left-wing nonsense. They believe in proper values. And I'm going to commit myself for the next 4 years to doing this.
That, of course, means that you would end up as the Prime Minister. And I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but the goal is clear. And when there's a clear goal and all of the things we've talked about tonight, you start to make your way. When they talk about how all politics is local, right, and you've obviously got now this foothold of local government, does that help better inform you about where you need to be and about what's really happening in the world, that helps you in the momentum to potentially putting yourself into a place to be a contender for PM?
We're all good at some things in life and bad at others. I'm bad at most things. But the one thing I'm good at, I'm actually quite good at understanding. I'm good at understanding where public opinion is. Yeah. And I enjoy going out into crowds, meeting people, having little chats. And I think that foothold, or big foothold, I mean, don't forget, we are outright controlling 10 of the biggest counties in England.
That's awesome.
Some of them that were held by Labour, more that were held by the Conservatives. I think that's going to get me even closer to the ground of where public opinion is on so many issues. People are crying out for principle, crying out for leadership. Because frankly, what we've got from the other two parties that have run this country for over 100 years, frankly, a bunch of incompetents who seem to have no idea what they're doing. And they're all panicking. I mean, the Prime Minister said in response to our win, we're going to go further and faster. I've no idea what he's even talking about. And the Conservatives will have another civil war and probably their seventh leader in the space of 4 years. And we're just going to crack on.
Now, I just got a couple of minutes. Your reflections on the Australian election and what to say to people who may well have voted for the team that is half of what the government is now.
Well, obviously, it's very disappointing. I think Peter Dutton is a very decent bloke, but he lacks that bit of spark. He's not a great smiler. I just think that to invigorate people of a conservative mindset in the modern world, you've got to have that flash, that spark of inspiration. And I'm not saying this to do Dutton down. Obviously, the Trump thing wasn't helpful. Putting America first has caused some issues for Australia. But I don't think it's just that. I think one can overread the Trump effect on Australian politics. I just think that the Australian, small C conservative movement just needs to find something a bit more inspiring. And as I say, I don't want to be rude, but that's how I feel about it.
No, fair point. Thank you, mate. I really do appreciate it. Congratulations, and nice to have you back. And wasn't it good to see that some media has worked out that we have a chat each week? I think we've been doing it for a couple of years now, but good on them for working out. Did you know Nigel Farage talks to Sky News? Geez, they're on the news, aren't they? They're on the beat. Exactly. Love you, mate. We'll see you soon.